And basically, I developed the Human Hamster Wheel because I wanted to understand behavior, especially the ego. Because Eckhart Tolle will talk about the ego all day long, and sometimes you don't understand what he's talking about because he makes it so lofty. And so I wanted to break it down so it's so simple, because we got to work on the ego. The ego is the one that has a critical voice. The ego is the one that keeps us trapped and not moving towards the light and poo-poo in the light and all that kind of stuff. So the ego is, think of it as a human hamster wheel. It just goes round and round. What's generating it is fear. We talked about fear. Fear of disappointing others, fear of criticism, fear of not being accepted, fear of not being smart enough, fear of not being good enough, fear of not being pretty enough, fear of society and racism, fear of every fear generates this thing. And what happens when we're in fear? Usually you'll see in the human hamster wheel, an event happens. So let's take a kid and say you're bullied at school. And what do bullies do? They try to tell you you're not good enough. You're nothing. You are so worthless. Ooh, you're ugly. Tearing you down, right? Look at what's next. That event goes into hurt, and it's okay to be hurt. But if hurt is not recognized with compassion, it turns into anger, it turns into rage, it turns into depression. So let me say that again. It's okay to be hurt in this life. But if I'm not met with somebody that is one with me, and I show them compassion, and I'm being that God source, if I'm not met with that, it turns into anger. If I am met with that, I can move through it. You see why everybody needs to wake up? Because we can perpetuate the human hamster wheel in everybody we meet, depending on our reaction to people, if we're in alignment with the one source. Yes.
Talking about reacting, I have discovered that when I have a friend that she just turns everything into a negative kind of. It's really hard to be around her. And I can just step back and let her do all that. And sometimes when you step back and you just don't answer, that the person starts to hear themselves say all this stuff, and they start to slowly stop because they're not getting that, whatever that feeding into that negativity or whatever they're doing. And I don't have to answer everything that someone says.
Right.
And I also realize that I'm not the problem.
Right.
That usually the problem is within them. And so it has nothing, even though it comes out at me, let's say.
And when it does, it's an opportunity to practice. I use that word a lot. Practice is very important because you can practice holding a space of love for her without saying a word. And that is practice.
You mentioned like rage and depression, but I'm kind of confused. Like, as I'm looking at these like three, does it go in column one or does it go in column two? Like, because it's not all of this.
You mean how does it move around, the human hamster wheel? How does it turn around?
Well, I mean, and maybe I'm looking at the plan wrong, but like I see like column A, power control reaction, column B, feelings, column 3, trauma events.
Right.
It's like anger and depression to me goes in column A, but I don't know if it really goes in A or B.
Well, let's go over it. If it starts with bullying, you see bullying on the second after death, on the trauma events? Yeah. And then if you're feeling hurt by that and no one comes to you with compassion, let's say it turns to anger, you're definitely afraid, guilt, shame, all of that stuff. The action that usually follows is on the power and control reactions list. That's how you try to gain back your power and control. Because remember, somebody's trying to weaken you by saying that you're not good enough. And usually when you feel that and you start to get angry, you want to take back control. So one of the things that you do that's on the power and control list is you blame. That's one of the first things you do. You criticize, you shame, you manipulate, you lie. Why? Because you're trying to get your power, but you're trying to feel better about yourself. And these are the tools that you have when you're afraid. These are fear tools that people use, and you can see them on the news. You can see them in your friends. You can see them in your family. You can see when they do these things. But most importantly, what I'd like for you to see is when you do it. Because that's the only way you can get off the human hamster wheel or get rid of your ego, is if you can identify what you're going through. What am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling pissed off right now. Well, why are you feeling pissed off, Karmen? Because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Well, is there another way of looking at it? So you see, you have to be your own therapist, is basically what I'm saying. People need to wake up. It's not about somebody else fixing you. You know, waiting for that relationship. Oh, I feel so much better once I get it. No, you've got some stuff to work on right now, because what you're generating is going to bring to you exactly what you need to work on. So let's get moving on it. So the universe is all energy. This fear creates energy, and the reason it goes around is it creates trauma events. Do you know that we create our own trauma events? Can you see that in your life? Like if you look back on it, oh yeah, I created that because of this, and I remember getting in a relationship wanting to be saved. And whenever you get into a relationship wanting to be saved, that person will take advantage of you, because it's matching that energy. That victim energy will find a victimizer, an abuser. So does everybody know about that? That we create energy, we create events based on fear. Keep in mind, we are master creators. We can create based on fear or based on love. It's our choice, but you need to know these things, right? You know friends that have been in one horrible relationship after another, one trauma event after another, and they have their victim story. They like this because they don't know any other way. They don't know that love is fun. Chaos is not fun. But when you're in it, that's all they know. Because they have an identity crisis, right? They don't know there's another way.